What's going on, traders? John with Tactical Trading here with a little short video. This is going to be like a recap. I know I started the $1,000 challenge yesterday on Monday, but I've been kind of tied up. I had to go to orthopedics, occupational therapy, or occupational medicine. Found out that I have a broken knee. Always good. So that's a bad and a good. Bad is it sucks to have a broken knee, and it's hard to get around, especially when you live in a house with mostly tile floors and hardwood floors, because if something like gets on the floor and you're on crutches, you go. I had a couple instances where I almost landed flat on my face, and not to mention I think it was last Friday, my wife went and picked up some crutches. Now mind you, I'm only about 5'6.5", 5'7". She grabs crutches for a dude probably about 6 foot, so I don't know if it was just because she's dreaming about having a taller guy, or it's just she grabbed the wrong crutches. But I almost pole vaulted into the freaking TV set. Got him on, went up, and went off the ground and almost flew into the TV set. So needless to say, we had to take him back and get some short guy crutches. But that's enough of the jokes for today. If I would have landed into our brand new TV, that would have been a joke. But yeah, I couldn't come out with a video the past couple of days just because I've been tied up, doctor's appointments, calling, workman's comp, all kinds of things of this nature. But like I said, there's a good and a bad to it. The bad is that no one wants a broken limb, especially their leg. I would take I've broken my hands more times than you can imagine. Boxing and fighting and all kinds of stupid things like that when I was a kid. But a broken leg sucks. Well, the good thing is it's not too much pain, and a whole bunch of aspirin and ibuprofen, and that takes care of it. So I'm going to start first off, do a recap of the trades that I've made in this $1,000 challenge. We started off yesterday. Now I reset everything with the account, and $1,000 in the account. The account. So I have 3 day trades a week because we're under the PDT rule. So yesterday I proceeded to buy RSSV. It's Phoenix Rising Company, or Resort Savers, whatever you look at. It says Resort Savers when you go to buy it. But I bought on a breakout, which was a failed breakout. This thing skyrocketed in the morning on some news. Proceeded to pull back. So the high of the day was 20 cents. It pulled back to about 18 cents. It then started forming a cup and handle, and at the break of 20 cents I bought. The breakout went to 21 cents. I was looking to get out at about 23 or 24, making just a short little profit with a day trade, and it hit 21 and a half, or 22 was the high, and it just fizzled back down. So what I did is once it broke under 20 cents, I sold at 19 and a half cents. I did that for about close to a $70 loss on my first trade. Not a good way to start the challenge. Then I proceeded at the end of the day yesterday to buy a stock that I mentioned to you guys on Sunday morning. I know I mentioned Galaxy Next Generation, GAXY. I brought it up at 0.0088, and this stock proceeded to skyrocket the next day. I ended up buying it at 2.5 cents. Now we're talking. I gave you the heads up on this stock at less than a penny, at 0.0088. I wish I would have bought it at that point, but I bought it. I didn't buy it for the first green day. It was the second green day. But because it had so much momentum and it had absolutely no pullbacks yesterday, in fact, the only pullback was on the close where I bought it. I ended up buying it at, like I said, 2.5 cents. Woke up this morning, took a look at it, and just watched those bids just going up and up and up. And what I did is I sold it directly on the open for 3 cents. Went up to 3.1 cents, and then it just tanked. This thing closed. Let me double check where this thing closed at. This thing shot up to not 3.1. It shot up to 0.0306 was the high of the day, and then proceeded to plummet back down to 0.0139, which is still a half a penny above where I called it out on Sunday. So I mean, if you bought it then and you're still holding it, you're still in good shape. I think it's gonna come back up. Now, one of the patterns that I spoke about really played out well in this next trade. So I ended up making about $140 on that trade. So then there's another trade. There was a stock that I mentioned, which is Relief Therapeutics, RLFTF, and I said this one, and this was the segue into the election infection stocks. But I said I was looking for a pullback in the stock. Well, we got that pullback today. The stock was at 62 cents when I mentioned it. Stock went up into the low 70s. This stock just tanked on the open. Opened at 36 cents. I ended up buying the stock. I watched a little bit because I didn't know if it was going to tank any further, and then it proceeded to go up into the 40s. I ended up buying this thing at 45.5 cents and ended up selling out at 52.99 cents. I saw big offers coming in at 53 cents, so I just sold it, and I took a good almost 8 cents on that one for about $140 profit. So the last two trades, that was about $280 of profit. Lost about 70 on the first, so we're up about 210 on just the first 2 days alone. But I made a mistake, and I'm going to talk about that mistake now. I was looking through for a first green day, and something told me I saw SHMP, natural shrimp. I saw this stock. It was now this is a former supernova. This stock at times has gone up from 5 cents all the way up to $1 a couple times, and I saw some momentum coming today. They came out with some news that they had an acquisition of a couple of new plants or a couple of businesses in Iowa to expand their businesses, but made a big mistake. Didn't know that they had an 8K that came out, and the 8K came out June 20, or in the middle of June, and in this 8K they talked about having an offering, and it says right here on June 10th, Natural Shrimp will entered into agreement with AC Wainwright, and they're going to be offering an underwriting and an offering for shares of stock. So the stock proceeded to go up from about 7.5 cents all the way up to 11 cents. It actually went up to almost 12 cents, 11.8. I waited for a little bit of a pullback. I was going to buy for a first green day, so I bought it at 10 cents. Just to watch it tank down to 7.5. Now I should have sold. I didn't want to waste a day trade. So when you're under the PDT rule, these are the issues you tend to face. So now I got to wait till tomorrow morning to see what happens with it. But what happened? I'm wondering, why is this thing tanking? It has good news. It ran up all day long right until the close. Well, that's what happened. The company started dumping shares on the market. That's what was going on. I was wondering a couple of weeks ago when I called out Natural Shrimp, and I didn't bother to look into it because I didn't buy it. I mentioned it as a stock to keep an eye on. And as I watched it, it just kind of would go up and fizzle, go up and fizzle. Well, that's what's going on right here. These guys are dumping shares, so it's always important to read. Now, I did it after the fact, so it's going to end up hurting my account a little bit. It's probably going to erase all the gains that I made today. So we're going to be back to square one, but that's part of the game. You got to do your due diligence. So I was wondering, why the heck is this stock sinking? What is going on with this thing? And I went on their website, and I looked at their documents, and they have an 8K, and in the 8K they said they have an offering. And that's what's happening right now. They're every time this stock goes up, they're taking advantage of it. I think the offering is done. It says 90 days. So from June 10th is when the offering started. So we're looking. This is probably one of the last offerings they're going to do. I do like this company. The company is growing very significantly over the past year and a half or two. And even at where they're at 7.5 cents, I think it's a steal. I probably would wait though another month or so to buy them, because you don't want to get caught up in getting some gains and then getting them flushed right back down, unless you're a long-term investor. If you're a long-term investor, this might be a good investment, because I think this is a 25-cent stock, no problem. I think today, with the good news that they had, that this stock could have went up to 13, 14 cents easy today, and I could have made huge profits out of that. I wouldn't have held it to 13, 14 cents. Well, I would have held it overnight, but I probably would have sold it first thing in the morning for a first green day. Maybe it had 10 cents, or maybe it was at 10 cents when I bought it. It might have been 12, 13 cents. Who knows? That's a significant gain on, when you buy, 10,000 shares or something. But but it didn't work out that way. And this is the real important thing, and this is the message I want to get across is when you're playing these OTC stocks, it's always important to, or any stock, in fact, any stock that, you're not going to worry about this with your Apples, your Teslas, your Microsofts. You're not going to worry about it with these stocks. They have plenty of funds. Their books are fine. But when you're dealing with penny stocks, you always have to understand they're a penny stock for a reason. This is why I don't invest in these stocks. I trade these stocks. But the fact of the matter is this: they're penny stocks for a reason, and the reason they're penny stocks is because they're not a sound business yet. They may have good technology, they might have good news that keeps on coming up, but the thing is they're usually, I would say 8 out of 10 times these companies are cash strapped, and being cash strapped, how do they raise funds? They offer more shares, they offer more stock. So that's what ended up happening to me today. I'm almost positive that's what happened because there was no reason for it to sink like that. I was seeing offers coming up 450,000 shares, 350,000 shares on this stock that traded tremendously higher volume, 78 million. But to see, these sizable offers coming in right at the end of the day told me something was going on. It wasn't just natural selling. That was not what was going on, because this stock has been hovering between 7 and 9 cents over the past couple months. So there's not very many bag holders. The last time it went up was over a year ago, and then a year before that where it shot up and you got bag holders. And I'm sure who's going to hold a bag for 2 years? I'm sure there's some people, but I can't think of any reason to hold a bag that long unless you have just a small position in this. So I got hit by not doing my full due diligence. When you're going to buy a penny stock, the best thing to do, unless it's going to be a 5-10 minute trade. A lot of my trades are like that, so there's no point in looking at this. I'm looking at the charts, and I see a quick trade, I jump in for the quick trade. But if you're looking at a stock and you're eyeballing it all day, and you're saying, man, this is the first green day setting up, or the dip and rip setting up for throughout the day, you always want to take a look and maybe go on their website and look in their 8Ks, look in their 10Ks to see if they have anything that would stop the stock from going up. And in this case, that was it right there. I just got lambasted. Now, most people aren't going to do their due diligence. Tomorrow they're probably going to see a deal. This stock may go up a penny or two, and I might bail me out where I might come up with a $70, $80 loss, $50 loss. Who knows? I might come up with a gain, but I'm not anticipating it. But it's something to always keep an eye on. We're playing penny stocks here. When you're playing penny stocks, you got to be smart. And that's why I always say don't invest in these companies. Look at Optech International. That stock, what is it down to? 10 cents now? No, I called it out at, what did I call it out at? 7 cents. So no matter what, we're still up 3 pennies from where I called it out. So, we're not in a loser. But to think of not taking profits when that thing was 15, 18, 17, 19 cents, to think that if you did not take profits then and come in to buy back now, I'm waiting until tomorrow. I'm going to look at Optech. If we have another dip into the single digits, I'm loading up on Optech. Like I said, I've traded that thing 4 or 5 times in the past week. That's just the way it is, and that's the way I am. I cannot, in my heart of hearts, I cannot conceivably hold a stock. And I even came out the day after I called that stock out. I told you, if that thing gets to 13, 14, 15, I think I said 14 or 15, sell it. Sell it. Don't fall in love with any of these stocks. They may be the greatest story on the planet. It might be the best stock that you can think of. These stocks always have pullbacks. And I can't see getting your gains and then riding it back down for a pullback. Sell it up here. You got 10, 20, 30, even 40, 50% gains. Sell it. Put the money in your pocket. I hear guys saying, well, then you're going to ruin your cost basis. That's what I think of a cost basis. Because a cost basis doesn't help your bottom line. You put that money in your pocket, and then you go buy back at a higher cost basis, and you're looking to make another 2 or 3 cents. Each trade's its own entity. It's not like you're going to stack up and I'm gonna average in and do this and that. Unless you're a long-term investor, that's the only way to do it. But if you're a trader, and this is a trading channel, if you're a trader, that's what you have to do. You have to take your profits. So let's just talk. I only got a few more minutes here. I want to talk about a couple of stocks that I've been looking at and a couple of things that have been going on. As I brought up Conversion Labs, we haven't had a pullback in that one yet. That puppy's still going strong. In fact, I called it out at $1.29. Conversion Labs now is at $1.65. It was only up about 6% on the day, but it's still going strong. Optech is at 10.1011. It was down almost 20% today, down 19% today. So I think that's a good time to possibly look at loading up on Optech, because I think that thing's going higher. RVVTF, that stock was down 10% today, and it looks like a lot of these OTC stocks are down today. RVVTF is at 26.7 cents, so 0.267. I like that stock for 30, 40, 50 cents, if not more. I don't know about 30. I think it's 35, 40, 45, 50 cents. I really think this is a good stock, and they have really good news. RLFTF. This one, I really like this stock right here at 52 cents. It was down 24% today. This thing just crashed on the opening down to 36 cents to open at 36 cents. That was a steal. If you were there waiting for that for the morning dip buy, and you waited that and got that anywhere under 40 cents, congratulations, because you caught a steal. I got a little after 40. I made some decent money. I mean, for a $1,000 account, I made some good money on it, over 10%. But I wish, like I said, I was in GAXY. I was waiting to sell that. I sold that on the open, and by the time I flipped over and looked at the other one, it was already too late. It was already past 40 cents. I mean, this thing dropped, opened up at 36, and then proceeded to go straight up into the 50s. So, I ended up catching it in the mid-40s, but still, wish I would have caught it right there on the opening. So RLFTF, I really like that, still going forward. A stock that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, the same time when I mentioned GPVRF, Green Power Motors. That the same day I mentioned that, a couple of weeks, maybe about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I mentioned EVUS. This thing was only a tenth of a penny at the time. Now it's almost 4/10 of a penny. This thing has quadrupled since I mentioned it. Keep an eye on that stock. This has to do with the electric vehicle sector. It's an electric battery company, but they do not produce electric batteries. What they do is a consulting firm. They're based right there in LaSalle Street in Chicago. They're a consulting firm for that. So I would keep my eye on that stock for any continuations or any good runs. But keep your eye on it. It's a real dicey, real cheap betting stock, but I've seen crazier things. This thing could go up to a penny or two, and you end up making a huge amount of money on that. Let's see, anything else that EPAS, it's right where I was at when I called it out. Let's see, DTGI. Take a look at that ticker. That thing is 0.0585, up 63% today. Now the thing is up. It does have news today. I have that on my news section, so it does have news. So I would take a look at that stock, take a look at the news, and see if it's something worth getting into. I believe this is it's not a first green day, but it's a first significant green day. So this thing may continue on its run. So again, I will have a recap. I'm not going to do a recap every day on this. And again, I would have came out when I bought, when I sold, but like I said, I'm kind of hemmed up right now with my injury and going through all this stuff, calling doctors, calling work, doing all this other nonsense. But like I said, the good thing is now I'm going to be able to concentrate fully on trading. So that's actually going to be a pretty good thing. Going to give me a better opportunity to, trade, not trade on a cell phone while I'm pulling over on the road while I'm trying to make a trade. I'm going to be able to concentrate on my trading and do a little more due diligence in the mornings and come out with a few more videos. What am I going to do? I'm going to be sitting here with a busted knee for the next probably 3 months. So you guys have a great day. As always, like, share, subscribe to the video. Please interact with the video. I said there's a couple videos that I have 500, 600, 700 views, and I have 25 likes. Just hit that like button. If you don't like me, hit the dislike button. Just interact with the video. I would appreciate it very, very much. I will have a video out tomorrow, and again, I will be recapping the challenge, giving you numbers at the end of every week. It's going to be a 6-week challenge. At the end of every week, I'm going to be giving you the exact numbers on everything. And like I said, our goal is 5,000. So you guys have a great day. Be blessed. You guys have a good one now. Thanks for watching.